For a third straight day, gas demand in the country fell due to Americans filling up their tanks earlier in the week. GasBuddy reports demand yesterday fell nearly 15% over last Saturday following the Colonial Pipeline cyber attack, but weekly demand overall rose by 6.3% from the previous week, a new weekly high since the start of the pandemic. AAA says it expects more than 37 million people to travel during Memorial Day weekend. And here now to talk with us about how long it could take for the gas supply to be fully restored and the fallout from the cyber attack's effect on gas prices is Patrick DeHaan with GasBuddy. So Patrick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So now that the pipeline is fully restored, how long could it take to get gas back to the stations in those affected states?
Well, we're already seeing it, although it's very, very slow, almost a turtle's pace at this point. That's expected, though. Through a weekend, it's likely hard for stations to get caught up. Keep in mind, weekends are the time when stations tend to see the most gasoline demand. So I don't expect a whole lot of progress until late tonight into Monday and Tuesday. That's when we should start to see things improving more so. But in some of these hard areas, North Carolina, Georgia, South Carolina, we may see this linger for 1 to 2 weeks before motorists no longer have to check services like GasBuddy to figure out where they're going to fill up.
Washington, D.C. is still seeing about 80% of its stations without gas, and that hasn't changed. Can you give us some insight into why that may be?
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Washington, D.C. was kind of a late bloomer, so to speak. That is, they did not have outages as quickly as some of the other areas. And once consumers started to encounter lines in Washington, D.C., that's likely when we started to see some of the panic buying. So I think what happened in D.C. was onset a bit later, and it's taking a little bit longer for that to wrap up. But I'm hopeful that now that people start to see restoration even in D.C., almost all of these numbers should improve meaningfully over the next 7 to 12 days.
What about through this summer? You don't think this will affect gas prices throughout the summer?
It shouldn't. In fact, the national average is already ticking down a little bit. I think probably this is merely a supply issue, and I think 2 to 3 weeks is how long it'll take to wrap up. I think overall this summer it will be fairly pricey. A lot of that has to do with COVID-19 recovery, and the fact that oil producers are not producing as much oil as they were prior to COVID. So motorists still should buckle up for what could turn out to be a little bit of a pricey summer at the pump. But I think the good news is that we're not expecting any record highs.
And people are so anxious to get out now that they've been vaccinated. They haven't traveled in a year and a half. So I'm sure that is going to play into this demand, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. And keep in mind, a lot of Americans that are taking summer vacations, it's very difficult to do that overseas yet to this point. Some countries are reopening, but all of that could push more Americans to domestic tourism and boost gasoline demand even further this summer.
Do you think that prices could get higher in other parts of the country, not the Southeast, to combat this shortage, to offset it?
You know, probably not. I think a lot of what you saw was a backup in the Southeast. The fuel is flowing. I think what you saw was motorists making the situation a lot worse. And so prices did ultimately go quite a bit higher in the Southeast than I would have expected. Some areas, North Carolina, for example, up 20 cents a gallon in the last week. It's those areas we'll see relief, but this should not affect really anyone else across the country, minus those hard-hit areas of the Southeast.
All right, Patrick DeHaan, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
My pleasure.